So we have IT in society, different topics over here, digital banking, all that. So first of all, this is quite a generic structure. This is why we can discuss it online. Electronic currency, basically, as you know, is a form which replaces physical coins and banknotes. So, but there are different kinds of electronic currency that you have. These include digital currencies, include virtual. We have over here is cryptocurrency. We have central bank digital based money, and we have stored value parts. So we'll be looking at all these forms and what is the difference. Okay. These terms can sometimes be interchangeably used. Okay. So first of all, digital currency obviously is a term that means any currency which is in digital form, which can be used electronically. Okay. Right. So you don't really have to present your physical money, such as paper bills or coins, which is known as digital currency. Okay. Even your credit cards is digital currency. So you don't back end, it represents the monetary currency of the country. But the payments can be made, uh, obviously, in that particular case, online. Most systems try to closing some applications. Okay, just one second. Just one second. Just pause. Okay, now obviously, digital currency nowadays is replacing a lot of physical currency. Okay, there's we have to look at the advantage, disadvantage of digital currency. Okay, now let's continue to look at it. We'll obviously look at it step by step afterwards. Let's have an intro for this. Virtual currencies actually are okay. The virtual currencies are secondly a type of digital currency. Okay, so all virtual currencies are digital. Okay, but not all digital currencies are virtual. Now, one of the example of this is like virtual currency is representation of monetary value issued, managed, and collected by private issuers for transaction peer-to-peer payment. This is written in terms of tokens and may be unregulated. Uh, you know about Bitcoin, probably. You have an idea about Bitcoin? I'm sure you do. Okay, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all these actually, most probably in Pakistan, they're going to allow it as well. Okay, uh, Bitcoins are used in many countries nowadays as a digital form. There is no central bank that actually monitors them. So they work through a process which is known as blockchaining. So, but they're used. Okay. Just 10 years back, one Bitcoin was equal to like 3,000 rupees. I think so nowadays it's floating around 40,000. It was 3,000, not rupees. It was for $3,000 on Bitcoin. Now it's for around $40,000. So yes, one Bitcoin has a lot of value. It can be accepted online, but not very widely accepted, obviously. There's no central bank. It can be hacked. Okay. So this is what so cryptocurrency is a type of a virtual currency, we say. So virtual currencies like Bitcoin are not monitored. Okay. So your cryptocurrency obviously is a decentralized. Okay, it was developed by Satoshi. He was a this Japanese person. Then after lots of others. Now we also park the cryptocurrency as well. Uh, I don't remember the exactly name. So but there are lots of going in. But obviously Ethereum, Bitcoin, um, uh, there are a few more are the most common. Bitcoin tends to be most common, okay, because it was the very first one that came in. Okay. So basically, it was developed through encryption algorithm techniques, lots of advanced cryptographic techniques, but still there are lots of chances of your Bitcoin going into wrong hands. Okay. Right. So I just told you, it is currently most valuable sitting at now the rate keeps on changing, and this is another disadvantage that you don't know that your Bitcoin rate might decrease drastically tomorrow. Yes, at the other hand, you get great chances of your Bitcoin currency increasing instantly as well. Okay. So the following, we have a digital currency and a cryptocurrency. Like I told you before, As far as digital currency is concerned, it is surrounded by legal frameworks. By legal frameworks means by a legal bank. Okay. So, for example, we use credit cards, okay, or other forms of digital currency that we have, jazz cash and all that. Those basically backed by current monetary currency, and they have a legal backing. Digital currency is fully centralized. Transaction cap dictionaries is secret. Obviously, they are. Every bank keeps secrecy of that. Okay, it is not encrypted. It's not as much encrypted, you can say, right? Cryptocurrency, on the other hand, is fully decentralized. It's not controlled by an individual bank or organization. Cryptocurrency, on the other hand, it is not surrounded by legal framework. Okay, transaction directories are visual to all. Okay, this is one of the biggest drawback because obviously they are being controlled one server, so anyone can get access to it. It is highly encrypted. Yes, it is because it's in digital form. This is one advantage of cryptocurrency. This is highly encrypted. Advantage of virtual currencies. If talk about our virtual currencies, let's talk about generally the advantage of general virtual currencies. So convenient. Obviously, payments with virtual currency are fast and easy due to the network system. So international transactions can be made easily. Okay. So if we talk about virtual currencies like Bitcoin and all that, uh, decentralization always immediate at a lower transaction cost. So obviously, there's also an advantage of decentralization. You will have peer-to-peer. You can transfer money right away. There will be no central bank controlling it. It will not delay the transactions the way it happens usually. There will be no extra charges. Okay. Now, all transactions secured by using encrypting money. We just to said older, yeah, discuss that virtual currencies tend to be very much secure because of encryption. They have very high encryption methods. Faster right away, absolutely. When you click on a go, you click on it, it will be done. Contactless payment, you don't really need to uh, do contact, obviously. Prevention from debt. This is something very important. The use of payment methods such as value stored as value cards can prevent a person from going to debt. As they only spend the set amount that is stored on the card. So obviously, whatever you have the card, you can only spend that. You can't do more than that. Disadvantage of cryptocurrencies is lacks of comprehensive regulations. Okay, now the regulations over virtual currencies are not comprehensive or semantic enough. So yeah, I mean, we just talked about it, that they still you don't have a lot of regulations. Highly volatile, I just told you that as well, that every day this could change. Okay, it can drop. Then in that case, you have to wait. Okay, some people had to wait for a year even for Bitcoin to go up. Potential security issue, yes, a big issue. No one takes the responsibility as well. In other banks, obviously, if your credit card gets hacked, they will take in responsibility. But in this case, in such a Bitcoin, no one is going to take the responsibility. So there's always a potential security issue with it, right? So again, let's have a recap of digital currency. So digital currency is a broad concept referred to all monetary assets that are digital form in simple words. Okay. Virtual currency is a subset of digital currency, and cryptocurrency is a subset of cryptocurrency, subset of virtual currency. You get my point? So obviously, when we refer to virtual currency, we're talking about any unregulated digital currency. Okay, that is obviously issued by a private issuer. Uh, Virtual currencies can be centralized or can be decentralized. Mostly they are decentralized, but we cannot always say virtual currencies are all decentralized. Okay, cryptocurrency is a type of virtual currency. Okay, that obviously is encrypted really well through blockchain networks. Okay, so cryptocurrency Bitcoin. Then explain one example of this. Difference between this your digital currency and virtual currency. Let's see, anonymity unknown to most people. Yes, is one of the reason. Well, many of the people nowadays even don't know what cryptocurrency is, so and do not even trust on it. You cannot transfer digital currency without identifying yourself. Okay. You first need to fill in your personal information and even upload photo of yourself and some document issued by the government. Okay. Uh, this means that when using digital currency, it is easy to identify individual groups in popular transactions. Cryptocurrency, on the other hand, use cryptographic protocol, which are complex code that encrypt sensitive information transfer, right? Crypto developers build this protocol using advanced computer engineering and mathematical principles and render them virtually impossible to crack. So obviously, crypto developers have made it very safe. They protect the identities of user. It would not take a lot of time. So once there's an advantage, obviously there's also a disadvantage. So advantage obviously is that since it's encrypted, it's not easy for people to hack into it properly. I mean, undo it. Okay. This means the cryptocurrency network providers an bit that cannot be found in virtual currencies. Now, what do we mean by that? This last line that we have. This means that cryptocurrency network provides anonymity that cannot be found in virtual currencies. Yes. इसका basically यही मतलब है कि आपकी जो क्रिप्टो करेंसी नेटवर्क है ना, ओके, वो it tends to be a lot more secure than your virtual currency that you have. Structure. Digital currencies are centralized. हमने बात की थी आपकी. Okay. So they controlled by central bank. Only बात की जाए. If we talk about like PayPal, for example, it's regulated by a particular company. Okay. So all the transactions that you send and receive through PayPal basically are centralized by someone. Cryptocurrencies are not controlled by a particular government. They are marked as decentralized. Okay. Yes. Legal aspect. The legal aspect make all the difference between digital and virtual currency. Many countries around the world have fine legal framework that govern virtual currencies. For example, digital currency in the countries in European Union are governed by this and regulated by this form, right? So legal aspect यही कि आपका डिजिटल करेंसीज आपके जो है वो govern होती हैं by legal framework. Okay, so cryptocurrency में हमेशा नहीं होती. Digital currencies ride along benefits cheap and instant worldwide payment. मैंने बताया आपको this could be cheap. Credit card payments can sometimes be steep, especially with international use. Okay, as far as your cryptocurrency की बात उनकी जो charges बहुत कम होते हैं. Okay, with digital currency you pay much lower fee in every transaction. Sometimes you don't even have to incur payments. So दोनों हम साथ में दोनों बातें करनी. Okay. Faster Shakti app, yes. Provides avenue for resolving. Faster, I don't have to explain. Obviously, it's fast. Right away, with that. Provides avenue for resolving dispute. क्या मतलब? One of the biggest difference between digital and cryptocurrency is that digital currency is centralized, is controlled by. In case of dispute occurs in transaction fraud, the authority can freeze the transaction until the underlying fraud. So yes, obviously, one of the advantage of your digital currency is that it's centralized. And if there is something wrong, so you can report to bank and they can freeze it. ये फायदा है. Okay, in case of okay, cryptocurrency ये नहीं होगा. So convenient. The user currency you don't have to follow many steps to fill in documents to open up an account. Yes, बिल्कुल ठीक है. All you need to is a device. When it comes to cryptocurrencies, the establishment of legal framework to regulate them is still work in progress. There will be a legal framework, but right now, yeah. I'm talking about cryptocurrency. हम साथ दोनों comparison कर रहे हैं. Even though some countries such as US and China have tried to develop regulations, lack of enough regulation in most countries around the world is one of the biggest drawback. Like Russia, they don't have a legal framework. Today, there are thousands of black and gray market transactions. Maybe you've read about the Silk Road. Okay, lots of illegal activities go on that use Bitcoin. This is one of the most misuse of your digital currency, such as your Bitcoin वगैरह का digital cryptography, right? Right. So money laundering के लिए बहुत यूज होता है. इसलिए one of the reasons that अक्सर नहीं allow कर रहा आपके डिजिटल करेंसी को, क्योंकि मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग बहुत आराम से होगी। हम यूजली कहते हैं कि बिटकॉइन पाकिस्तान में अगर ला हो जाए तो बड़ा फायदा होगा। एज एन इन्वेस्टमेंट, यस, एग्री विद यू, एज एन इन्वेस्टमेंट फायदा होगा। Individual people might be able to invest, but at the same time, when it's not regulated, तो in that हमें नुकसान ज्यादा होने के चांसेस हैं, because it will be very easy for anyone to buy bitcoin and transfer it somewhere else. So हमें, हमारे लिए तो बिल्कुल सूट नहीं करता। Are you with me, all of you?
Yes, sir.
इस चैप्टर को मैं ओवर कर रहा हूँ। इन वंस वी मीट बैक, इसको मैं जस्ट टेक लाइक 15 मिनट्स। मैं इसको एक बार फ्राइडे को रिकैप रखूंगा, फिर हम स्टार्ट कर लेंगे। कोई कंफ्यूजन वगैरह जो होंगी ना, फ्राइडे को डिस्कस अगेन, आप पूछ लेना, गो थ्रू इट, और फिर हम दोबारा कर लेंगे। ओके, जो ऑनलाइन में ऑब्वियसली कंफ्यूजन आ सकती हैं। सो ट्रांजैक्शन मैनिपुलेशन, वही बात दोबारा आ गई। सिक्योरिटी लूपहोल्स, वो बात आ गई दोबारा। फ्रॉड अगेन वही आ गई, अब पढ़ लेना। मैं आगे चलता हूँ। सेंट्रल बैंक डिजिटल सिस्टम, बेसिकली ये इंडिया में इवॉल्व हुआ है। सो सेंट्रल बैंक बेस्ड डिजिटल सिस्टम निकला है। ओके, बेसिकली आपके गवर्नमेंट क्या करता है अपने, लेट मी रीड डाउन, fiat money is currency that is physical currency used in a country that is issued by government. Okay, it is the banknotes and coins that you use in payment every day, creating a digital fiat money in way would mean that banks effectively create digital currency. Each unit of currency in CBDC will act as equivalent to paperback money. It will be similar to banknotes in that it will have a serial number. There will be distinguishable characters in between this. So basically, you currently अपने ही like ₹5 की डिजिटल करेंसी निकालेगी। ऐसा इंडिया ने ट्राई किया इसको। So it will replace it and it can be used online to transfer money. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आप एक अकाउंट लोगे, उसमें आपको इतने डिजिटल क्रेडिट दिए जाएंगे एंड यू कैन यूज इट। ओके, सेंट्रल बेस्ड, इसको क्या कहते हैं, डिजिटल बेस्ड मनी। नाउ एडवांटेज क्या है सेंट्रल बेस्ड डिजिटल करेंसी? देयर इज नो फिजिकल करेंसी विल बी नीड टू एक्सचेंज बिटवीन बैंक्स। तो ऑब्वियसली फायदा होगा, प्रिंट नहीं करने पड़ेंगे आपको एक्चुअल नोट्स। Disadvantage क्या होगा? Some people like the privacy of their anonymity that they can have with physical currency. If a person pays with cash, there is no record of their deals attached to the payment. So in a way, it's advantage to some of the people because they want to have physical money. और अब एक और हम advantage कह सकते हैं कि in countries like Pakistan, not everyone will have an access to digital form. So people would accept payment in cash. Okay, so ये भी पॉइंट हो सकता है। Advice: the bank's ability to speed up the exchange of money will be greatly improved. Yeah, obviously, uh, yeah, it will be much more faster. Another advantage: some believe that if physical currency becomes obsolete in favor of CBDC, criminal acts such as money laundering and tax evasion would decrease, as these would often rely on the use of physical currency. You agree with that? Exactly. I also agree with it because मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग और जो करप्शन वगैरह होती है फिजिकल में ज्यादा होती है, डिजिटल में बिकॉज सिंस सीबीडीसी में भी हमने भी इसको कहा है कि ये आपका सेंट्रल बैंक करेगा और सेंट्रल बैंक इसको मॉनिटर करेगा। ईच एंड एवरी ट्रांजेक्शन विल बी मॉनिटर्ड बाय बैंक, सो बैंक विल हैव टू नो, विल नो व्हाट्स गोइंग ऑन। तो टेक्निकली तो ये बहुत अच्छा होगा, मगर how can we apply it at every level? That is a big concern. And this is where it will obviously take time, even if they try doing it. So I think countries that are facing problem of corruption, they should go towards CBDC. इसलिए इंडिया इसमें काफी आगे आ रहा है। उन्होंने इंट्रोड्यूस करा लिया अपना एंड दे आर एडवांसिंग इन इट। ओके, मैं एक वीडियो शेयर करूंगा आप लोगों के साथ, बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग है, इंडिया इंप्लीमेंट किया है, हाउ इज देयर एक्सपीरियंस। It costs money to produce physical currency, therefore it is, मैंने बताया आपको कि you have to actually print physical, so therefore it is easy to exist, then the cost would be saved. Data mining एक जनरल प्रोसेस है बेटा, ये अपने उसमें एक्सपर्ट सिस्टम में पढ़ा था। It actually means that how do you collect information for businesses to grow. तो जो भी है आपने, how do you search for data sets, how do you collect information, ये सारा उससे रिलेटेड है। ठीक है, इसके लिए हम डिस्कस करने लगे हैं इसको। सो डेटा माइनिंग बड़े एक्सपर्ट सिस्टम में यूज होता है डेवलप करने के लिए। ओके, डेवलपमेंट हेल्थ के लिए, whenever you need to develop some systems, you need to collect data. There are different ways that you can collect data. Proper data hoga, you can do effective marketing strategies. It will help you to increase revenue. It will help you, obviously, in many ways. If you have proper data, data is everything nowadays. There are different steps in data mining functions. पहला आपका आता है अभी अपने बिजनेस में भी पढ़ाओ ओके those big business. सबसे पहला आपका steps in data mining functions is business assessment. Now, what does business assessment mean? Okay, we have to thoroughly understand the project parameters. We need to understand what business is. Okay, we need to know what the primary business objective is. Okay, obviously, this is what business assessment need to know the business. Okay, yeah, you will be collecting data for that. Secondly, understanding data. Once you have that, you need to determine the data, okay, and you need to understand that what each and a particular group of data holds. So you need to understand it really well. Data preparation. Now, once you have the data, you have to make it ready for analysis. And if you have to make it data for analysis, you have to make sure that you get rid of redundant data which is which is of no use, or any data in which you have duplicate data. So the quality of the data can be improved so that when you give it to someone or when you share the data with anyone, it is not obviously something that can be understood. It can be used appropriately. That's what data preparation is. But data modeling actually means is that we have to make a model based on the data. Okay, predictive data. So identify patterns within data. What do we mean? Use algorithms to identify patterns. Now, identify patterns का मतलब ये होता है there are certain data जो मैं groups में डाल सकता हूँ. I can group them certainly कि ये group ये data इस group में आ जाएगा, ये data इस group में आ जाएगा. Yeah. In simple words, when we discussed normalization, we were actually doing data modeling. वो यही था. Why were we cutting down the tables into different tables? Because some of the fields were not relevant to the other fields. So हम हर data को group में कर रहे थे. That was an example of data model. Then we have evaluation. Okay, evaluation basically is determine whether and how well the results delivered by a given model will help achieve the business goal. So we have to evaluate. We have to see, okay, okay, how much is it working? The data that we have, is it actually helping us to deliver the business goal? Is it answering all properly or not? Deployment means we actually have to run and do the testing of the data, and to see that is it giving the answers to all the queries that we have. So that is deployment. Okay. Advantages. Why would I do it? Obviously, it helps us to gather reliable information. In simple words, the heading is telling us. So it will help us to evaluate our own policies and procedures. So customer might be interested in, and so we will be able to gather up more reliable information because we'll have data collected in proper form. Okay, so help businesses make operational adjustments. What actually means is that if we have a proper data, uh, based on that, I can do my operational assessment. For example, मैं data collect किया है पिछले साल sales का, okay, I will be able to see कि इस साल how much expenditure do I have to do. Your data will be helping me to identify, okay, what should I be doing, where should I be spending, should I not be spending. Okay, this can help a company identify trends that might not have been identified before, at least help them to make more accurate predictions. If a company finds out that it is selling less of a product than expected, they might learn what caused this and adjust their production to increase profit. So yes, it can certainly help businesses to make operational adjustments. How the business would operate. Data आपके पास होगा तो आप डिसीजन ले सकते हैं. आपके पास डेटा ही पिछले साल का या कोई और डेटा जनरली, how would you make your decisions? The data mining process also works in reverse. If a company understands that their customers are now they will be able to create marketing campaigns specifically targeting these groups in order to grow sales over time, right? So obviously, yeah, it's the use of that. Okay. So they will be able to create marketing campaigns specifically targeting those groups in order to grow sales over time. तो डेटा से हम एक्चुअली अपने डिसीजन भी ले सकते हैं कि व्हाट कैन वी डू. फॉर एग्जांपल, आपका डेटा है कि लास्ट ईयर सेल्स नहीं हुई थी सही, आपको आइडिया हो जाता है, तो you can use that data to know, and then you can do some different marketing strategies in order to increase it. It will help in your decision making in simple words. Helps to make informed decision. Have the same repetition of previous point was in front of us. It is often used for businesses purposes to improve decision making. As more data is collect accuracy data, mining becomes clear. This technique can provide insights that would be difficult or impossible to find just from reviewing records or report courses, right? It helps to detect risks and fraud. Obviously, data आपके पास होगा तो आपको आइडिया हो जाएगा कि कोई रिस्क तो नहीं आ रहा. Okay. Okay. One popular technique association of root mining, which finds any relationship between variable in the data set. This will lead to insight. So basically, मतलब इसका ये है कि हमारे पास जो different patterns होंगे रहते हैं, so with the help of that, we will be able to somehow find out any risks that can be involved. Okay, उस data को use करते हुए. So yes, this can be used. Help to analyze very large quantities and data quickly. Yeah, तो it's एक simple सी बात है. Behavior patterns of people, trends जो हैं, वो आराम से पता चल जाते हैं. इसका simple मतलब ये है. Okay. what people actually want, trends के. Okay. So yeah, so data mining to solve almost any business problem that involves data include increasing revenue, understanding customer segment, acquiring new customers, improving cross-selling and upselling, retaining customer, and increasing loyalty. So increasing so obviously side points में if you, why would you use it? Applications, well, बहुत जगह पे use हो रहा है. Detection of fraud, आप केवल spam filtering use हो रहा है. Okay. जितना डेटा सबसेट्स होंगे, आपको पता होगा कि ये डेटा is more vulnerable to hackers. This data is not. Why is this data most vulnerable to hackers? उसके सबसेट में hacker को लिंक कर सकते हैं. क्रेडिट रिस्क मैनेजमेंट में यूज हो सकता है. Qualitative, quantitative data mining. So all these are just examples of it. Okay, don't have to really explain them. Okay. Data process क्या होता है? Data cleansing and preparation. We have to make sure data is in a proper form. Okay. Removing error. हम इसमें करेंगे. Mistakes होंगे उनको निकाल देंगे. इसे कहते हैं data cleansing and preparation. Data warehousing basically it involves के you will be somehow um, you'll probably need to collect data from a range of sources and combine to single data repository before you can use data for decision. So you will actually be collecting data and saving it in a particular place, which is actually known as data warehousing. Data analytics, you will be examining the past trends, and you will be able to use those past trends to make a decision about the future. So this is known as data analytics. When we make graph Excel, we actually doing data analytics. Graph can help us to predict क्योंकि वो trend show कर रहा है. Okay. Predictive and analytics. Obviously, if you have data, so it helps you to predict what will happen in the future. हम हमेशा ये कहते हैं कि spreadsheets are mathematical models. क्यों? So our business models, because they can help us to predict what will happen in the future in the business. अगर आज ट्रेंड्स ऐसे हैं तो पिछले 10 साल से ट्रेंड ऐसे आ रहे हैं, there is more probability the trend will continue क्योंकि हमने by collecting a lot of data we will be able to show the trends. So predictive analytics can be done with the help of this, right? So AI actually works through data models, okay, but obviously it has its own algorithms sophisticated that can help it to do so. ठीक है। अच्छा, ये यहाँ से ऑनवर्ड मैं अभी नहीं डिस्कस करूँ, क्योंकि इट्स नॉट जरूरी कि मैं डेफिनेट चैप्टर लाजमी खत्म करूँ। नो वी हैव डियर 2 क्लासेस, मगर आई डिड नॉट वांट टू स्टार्ट इलस्ट्रेटर लाइक दिस। मैं चाह रहा था कि हम एक ही क्लास में करें अगले सैटरडे, और एक ही दिन में हम इलस्ट्रेटर कर लेंगे यूज। बट आई वांटेड टू डू इन द लैब। टेक्निकली एज इलस्ट्रेटर करना था, मगर मैं ऑनलाइन नहीं रहा। तो मैंने रैंडमली एक बहुत सिंपल सा चैप्टर स्टार्ट किया, go through the book, or you can let me just ask me any question that you have, okay, in the next class on Friday.